Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka two screens, no means,
aka Wiffle Ghost Runners ripping cringing New York Post punters.
Hello.
That was Will Gadd. How about this one from Will Gadd?
Gadd!
Two gents with 2 cents dragging malcontents with Philly accents.
We got these
Get
down here.
in a wah-wah.
Hey,
50
so all we're saying is grab a Coke Zero and hang out and listen to our podcast.
Get grab a Coke Zero, zero. I
Get
love
it.
that we're wearing long sleeve shirts. It got
Fall in Los Angeles descended upon us last night. It is windy.
But it's going to get hot again. But Big Ten football came this weekend, and with it came the fall, and it came our fall season. So
we're lumberjacks. We're riding out. We're carrying the log the final week. So a week from tomorrow is the election. If you don't have a plan to
week
vote,
from when this drops is the election.
That's what I mean. A week from when this drops. A week from tomorrow, as we're recording this, we're coming to the finish line, which then will become a new starting line to more chaos. However, we will be here throughout to provide you comedy, relief, insight. It's what we do. We break down situations. We break down how the laws are changing. We break down people doing dumb things and trying to rail against the system that isn't out to get them.
Let's do it.
Let's dive
jump
right
into one right now because San Francisco guys
San Francisco
got it right.
Leave it to San Francisco to be out ahead of the curve, the whole CAREN curve.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're less than a week away from Halloween. I bet CAREN becomes a popular Halloween costume.
Huge Halloween costume, and it has like a cell phone that people are talking. You can talk to.
No. It's a woman who is holding a way too short leash, and the dog is up in the air,
strangled.
Basically, like a hung dog up in the air.
And they give you like a little plastic cell phone so you can call 911 on someone.
Right. And out of the cell phone is coming someone saying you can't use 911 to make this call.
That's right.
Here we go. We're talking about legislation that chips away at CAREN's power.
I love it. It's
like an Amber Alert for
assholery.
Thank you.
It's perfect.
And this is it. It may be illegal soon to make discriminatory, racially biased 9/11 calls in San Francisco.
I love it.
Good.
Let's write it into the law. If people are acting stupid, let's put an end to it.
So they're trying to do that, and they're calling it the CAREN Act.
CAREN.
Caution against racially exploitative non-emergencies.
Hilarious. And non-emergencies is hyphenated. So they got away with one right there. But they call it the CAREN Act, and it's CARN because they care.
Right.
They're caring about people.
They be caring about things.
We be caring about people who have to deal with Karens.
So it was introduced in July in San Francisco to the Board of Supervisors meeting by Supervisor Shaman Walton.
There you go.
Seize the meme.
Seize the meme. Make fun of it.
And then make that behavior illegal. That's what we were asking.
Can we argue with it? Can we argue with it? Yes.
Yeah.
Because Karens are.
I don't think you can, and yet people are arguing. Okay, this is like punishing, and it just came into a rule in I believe, European soccer.
That's right.
Punishing people for flopping on the field.
You get a red card if you flop. It's discouraging people from the flop.
So what is a flop? For those who don't really follow
it means someone who pretends like they were tripped, and instead of like just being tripped, even with a foot that's like nearby him and no one touches him, you act like you just got shot.
Like fall down, clutch your knee, even though the guy ran by your neck. Like it makes no sense whatsoever. And players will argue, well, the field is so big and there are so few refs on the field.
You have to catch the refs' attention.
You have to make like a grand gesture to do it. I think there's a little more to it than that. They're trying to get other guys to get kicked out of the game. But what they've got now is a situation where you can get penalized for the false call.
Go to the videotape. With video review, let's go to the tape. They cleaned up something that was annoying in the game, which is exactly what's going on right here.
So that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to say, look, it's one thing if you are actually in trouble, but if you're trying to weaponize the police, if you're trying to do something illegal, if you're trying to use the whatever position, privilege you have to try and get someone else in trouble that they don't deserve to be in, you're going to get got.
Yeah.
And you got to think twice. So as you dial 911, there are a lot of people walking around these cities right now with 911
ready to go.
Ready to add that
fired up in the old phone.
The ordinance is one step closer to becoming law on Tuesday. This past Tuesday, the board unanimously passed the act on first read. So they know, they get it. This is supposed to happen.
I'm just a Karen, and I'm only a Karen, and I'm just sitting here waiting and staring
at this bird watcher. Next week, the bill has to be voted on again. That's this week by the board, and then it will be sent to Mayor London Breed.
London Breed, to me, sounds like a British way to prepare a steak without grilling it.
Yes.
How did you cook it? We London bread.
And it's always revealed in like a silver chasing.
London Breed.
For the Madame London Breed.
And I'll have the London Breed medium rare.
And reveal. The ordinance name is a twist on Karen. Thanks, newspaper, for telling us that. No need to point that out. This is why people are turning away from newspapers.
Making racially biased 911 calls.
And it's not just Karen. There are also names like Becky, which have also come to symbolize stereotypes of whiteness.
Oh, my God. Look at her.
Susan and Chad. Does that mean we can expect the Becky bill to back up this bill and be the next?
The Susan citation.
The hanging Chad.
We've already got the hanging Chad.
That's not a bill. That's just wishful thinking that a guy named Chad might end it.
Yeah, maybe.
The CAREN Act has been met with support and opposition since it was proposed. Support I get.
Opposition, I have no idea why. Well, like, who
is mad at this?
Who is opposing this? Someone who is going to use 911 in a racially insensitive way.
Several residents wrote letters to the board urging them to reconsider renaming the ordinance, citing it is sexist.
Sexist? How is it
and
sexist?
Targets people with the name of Karen.
It's CAREN. Didn't you see the?
Is it? It's an acronym. How is that sexist? And if it's memorable and it gets support,
then
and it gets onto a ballot, then
that's what it is.
If it takes advantage of the tidal wave of the meme of the moment and it uses the zeitgeist to get it passed,
what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
People will remember it.
Quote, the name of the act places a target on my name as a racist, and I am not one resident.
So wait, are you saying that MAD is bad because dads aren't against drunk driving too?
This is a woman named Karen who feels like this puts a target on her back. And I would argue the kind of person who writes a letter to a board about a thing, you're already
Karen demonstrating Karen behavior. I have a friend named Karen. I love her so much. She's not a Karen. She's anything but a Karen.
Writing a letter to complain about something that isn't ruining your life, but pretending like it is actually ruining your life is the most Karen thing you could do.
Straight up Karen move.
By associating the name Karen, this is another quote, or anyone else's name with such a law, it's really offensive.
It's not a name. How is CAREN a name? They can hide behind that. Just like you're hiding behind 911, they can hide behind the fact that it's an acronym.
Maybe don't behave like that.
Yeah.
And then you're all good.
Yeah.
Never get yourself in that situation. And I think you're fine. Or joke about it if it ever comes up.
That's right.
I got news for you. In this day and age, rarely will anyone who doesn't know you say your first name.
Yeah.
That's a fact, okay? If you're a middle-aged white woman, no one who you don't know is going to be saying your name. Who is going to know that your name is Karen outside of your inner circle?
Nobody.
Give your middle name at Starbucks if you're really terrified. If you feel like you've been so oppressed that you have to get... When we were kids...
This is the truth. Our last name's Sklar. Very hard.
3 consonants in a row.
Very hard for people to say. We knew that no one would get it right. Someone on Twitter just today said, I love the Schuyler brothers. It's not. There's no Y in it.
We weren't like there isn't a spinoff of Hamilton about us.
We're not the Schuyler brothers to the Schuyler sisters. It's just Sklar. That's a very difficult thing to say. SKL, very difficult.
And our dad got fed up with it over time when we would go to restaurants and
we had to put your name in, and our dad, without telling us, would put his first name in as a last name. His first name was Richard. Richards, he would put in.
His first name, he went by Dick. So if they would have called us the Dicks, that would have been great.
That would have been great. We get up and be like, screw you, we're going to our table.
That's us. But no, he called himself, he would put in the name Richards.
So we'd just be sitting there. He wouldn't tell us, but someone over the little microphone would be like, Richards Party of 4. We'd be like, yep, that's us. Not even knowing that Dad did that.
Okay, so was it inconvenient? No, maybe a little bit.
But
did
who
we
cares?
Survive? Yes. So you're just feigning anger about something that really isn't ruining your life.
Again, Karen move.
Quote, I do not have objection to this act. The issue that it's trying to address is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wrote another resident. I do strongly object to the name.
Why?
The insensitive choice of many people to use the name Karen as a general purpose term of disapproval for middle-aged white women needs to stop. What's funny about this is that there's never been a name that you can call white people that makes them mad. Louis C.K., I believe, used to have a bit about this, but the concept was there is nothing you can really say that can hurt white people because
that's right.
Like Jews have words. We have words that are pretty offensive and pretty awful.
Yeah.
But the common middle-aged Christian white woman doesn't really have, can't call someone a cracker. It doesn't bother people.
No, they don't care.
It's not an issue. But now that Karen is out there and in this, I think it doesn't even have to do with what you're actually saying. It's that it's become so popular. It's become this movement. It's become a swell of something, right?
Yeah. It's like there's anger.
I'm sick of it, though. I'm so sick, Rand,
of the indignation.
Of the fake anger and the fake indignation that goes
You're just giving someone to just get self-righteous about something.
The ordinance is similar to the statewide AB 1550 bill introduced by California Assemblyman Rob Bonta, making it unlawful and accountable for a caller to fabricate false racially biased emergency reports.
Yeah.
No flopping in life. You can't do it.
This is the no flopping rule.
You deserve to pay for lying and weaponizing the police with, to satisfy your racial.
Here's what it says.
Even if you feel like your anxiety is forcing you to make yourself feel like you're in trouble.
Using 911 as a tool for your prejudice towards marginalized communities is unjust and wrong. Bonta tweeted. Bonta.
Exactly. Bonta.
You got bonted.
And to be clear, this has nothing to do with situations in which someone is actually in duress, under duress, and in danger.
They're just talking about the misuse of emergency situations.
Right. That's what these bills are for. So before people get all up in arms and say, I can't use 911 anymore.
Yes, you can use it.
You're not letting me use.
Yes, you can
I'm not allowed to contact the cops if I feel threatened. No, you're just not allowed to misuse it. You're definitely still allowed to use it. Racially motivated 911 calls aren't a new occurrence across the country in spite of a recent uptick following the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man killed in police custody.
We all know that story.
Thank you, newspaper. Earlier this summer, a white hotel employee in North Carolina called the police on a guest. A black woman and her children who were using the hotel swimming pool.
Yeah. They paid for a room and they paid for the pool.
They should get to go to this hotel for life, although I would never go back there again.
There's no way to spin what you just did. None.
And you're mad about, if you're mad about someone calling this bill the CAREN Act.
You should be more mad at all the reasons that led to this bill being.
Correct. There's no, as mad as you are, you cannot possibly be as mad as these people who paid for a hotel room, started swimming in the pool, and someone called the cops on them.
Racist false reports put people in danger with waste, and they waste resources. Yeah, let's talk about the fact that it wastes resources.
Yes.
Right?
This bill could protect millions of Californians.
It spreads units thin to where they should be dealing with other real things, but instead they're dealing with these things because of selfish, racist lies that someone tells.
That's right. It's a misdemeanor, by the way, or felony offense in many states making a false report, including California. Accountability is lacking for making racially biased calls to law enforcement. Yeah, let's add this racial component to this thing. That's how we're gonna. This is how we take what's happening in the world. Like I did think back on I'm Just a Bill, and I think about so in the example they used in I'm Just a Bill, it's that there were car accidents on a street corner, and they said we need a stoplight here, a stoplight, and so they wrote to their local congressman and they said, we need a stoplight here. There's too many accidents. And then they listened to it and they wrote a bill and it went all the way up. So that's what's happening right now. We don't have a
people
stop
are going
sign.
unchecked and causing accidents in life, and we need a stop sign. And this is the stop sign to say you can't do it. Think twice before you dial 911. Think twice before you weaponize the police.
Yep.
And there you go.
That's it.
That's our first story.
That's the first story. And I think it's funny to me. I always find out like, listen to how this is how you can judge whether someone's really upset or not. Take a look at how mad they are and take a look at what they're mad about.
That's right.
And then you really have an understanding. Then you really, really understand if they're trying to protect their way of life and what they've been doing, or if they're really actually outraged by something.
All right.
That seems unjust.
On the other side of the break, I don't know if you've seen the new Borat movie, but
I have not yet, but I've seen this scene.
It's got a crazy scene with Uncle Creepy in it, and by Uncle Creepy, we mean Rudy Giuliani. We'll be right back after this break. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I want to mention again, we've got doing the live Dumb People Town on November 7th. That's Saturday, 6:30 West Coast time, 9:30 Eastern, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central.
So we're about a little under 2 weeks out, probably about 10, 11 days out from the show, 12 days out from the show. And we're at where we were in terms of ticket sales with like 4 days left last time.
So it's going to sell out probably this week or next week. If you're thinking about it and you're like, man, I want to do something after this election. I know people that are going out of town after the election. They just don't want to be around as it happens. Let us be the thing that gives you just that
go
little
anywhere,
break.
by the way. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can
As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can take us anywhere. That's go to eventbrite.com, look up Live Dumb People Town. John Hamm and the band Tennis. Come on, you
Let
need
us
it.
entertain you.
You need it, and then we'll announce our guest for the one we'll be doing for the
December 12th,
the holidays, and we'll do one for at that as well. But again, check that out. Also, we're posting videos on our Facebook page, Sklar Brothers. You should follow that if you don't follow that already, and our YouTube page. Look up Sklar Bro Country on YouTube. Subscribe to that. Let's jump into the story.
Okay, so Rudy Giuliani,
he's a creepy uncle.
He's officially become the creepy uncle that no one
of
wants
America
to associate with anymore.
No one but Trump.
Right. And that should tell you everything you need to know about that guy. The fact that he's still keeping him around.
Yeah.
It's about loyalty. This guy's loyal
They
to me.
can go off and touch each other inappropriately, grab each other by the pussy as much as they want.
Of all the bozos in Trump's camp, he is definitely the one that I would pick would be the easiest one
to be pranked.
Yeah,
he's a mark. He's a straight up mark, and because he's a drunk. That's what he is.
So he was on record, by the way. I don't know that you saw this like a week ago, maybe. He was on record saying that even if the Hunter Biden story about the laptop was not true, the public has a right to know about it.
To know about what? That you're
it's
wrong?
not true?
That something
What are you saying?
You're an idiot.
So the public has the right to know the lie?
Yeah.
You are the worst, Rudy.
You senile old bag of garbage.
Scratch that. Senile old bag of drunk garbage.
Yeah, you're the garbage in New York City that the rats don't even want to go and
they know to
on.
stay away from you.
Like they walk up to it and say, this isn't even for us.
Rudy Giuliani was the only one who relished the 9/11 attacks because it allowed him to sort of push himself forward and be like this hero of the city. It's
now Rudy's in some other trouble, and it's the kind that people just don't come back from
because there's proof. It's been caught on videotape.
And it's not just videotape, it's part of a movie, for Christ's sake.
The reputation of Rudy Giuliani could be set for a further blow. Like that, to have that be the opening line of an article about you is already a bad thing.
Rudy Giuliani has gotten punched in the face in the last couple of months, and now he's just falling backwards and continually getting punched.
He's punching himself with his own hand. With the release of highly embarrassing footage from Sacha Baron Cohen's follow-up to Borat.
Hey, Borat.
I saw the scene. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's definitely pretty bad.
By the way, the score in the scene is amazing.
Yes.
It definitely ratchets up the suspense.
Great job.
Whoever
we don't give
did
enough credit to the music
people.
supervisor.
Our friend Michael Penn is an unbelievable musician and scores a lot of TV shows and movies. Take a listen to the scores of movies and TV shows. Like, spend more time paying attention to that. Those people are amazing.
In your mind, what's the most sort of memorable score that you've heard?
I mean, I'm just such a fan of anything Paul Thomas Anderson. Like,
There Will Be Blood.
Yes, they use songs.
God.
They use obviously in Magnolia they use real songs, but the scoring of that was just so intense and so good. I have another buddy, Teddy Shapiro, who's a fantastic musician, and he scores a lot of movies too. Craig Wedren. We know a lot of people who are really good at this stuff. This scene particularly is amazing.
Okay, in the film released on Friday, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure a lot of people already know about this. We wrote this last week, and it generated a lot of buzz because the film came out last Friday.
Right.
Former New York mayor and current personal attorney to Donald Trump is reaching into his trousers, apparently fondling himself.
While reclining on it. He was laying down on a bed.
He laid back down on a bed. So basically he did an interview with this woman.
Look, it's a nice way of saying he leaned back and he tubed all over the bed.
Correct.
Okay?
I would say that. Yes. He did
following, and
there was like a very obsequious interview where she was like playing up to him and very nice to him, and then she suggested, "Let's move to the bedroom and have a drink." Mm-hmm. Okay. And hidden cameras all over the bedroom. Mm-hmm. So this guy has no. So what do we?
Again, he is a mark. If he gets taken by a film crew,
but what do you do when you think no one is watching?
This is it.
This is it. Except the difference is
you give away the secrets of America to Russia or to this woman.
Again, the man who hired Lev Parnas can't be trusted to check to see if the room is bugged.
Yeah, he's glossing over details like he's Trump's lawyer.
He's such a dipshit. He is such a dipshit.
He's ruining the movie, Rudy.
Yes.
Just by name alone.
So after she removes her microphone, Giuliani, who is 76 years old,
older than our mom,
can be seen lying back on the bed, untucking his shirt, fiddling, reaching in his trousers, and then he gets interrupted by Sacha Baron Cohen, who runs in as Borat and says, "No.
She's only 15.
She's too old for you,"
which I think is so
hilarious.
funny.
All right, great joke,
Yep.
great timing, great moment. Just when Sacha Baron Cohen, just when you thought he couldn't
Get close enough to the fire, he really steps it up.
Like he took it all the way to our
Yes,
president's
he did.
personal
and
lawyer.
I love that he had access to do that.
I mean, that should tell you enough about our president.
Yeah.
That this guy can get one spot away from him.
Yeah, and he took him down.
And take him down.
And Rudy let himself be taken down.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, how many other reporters he's done this to, or young women he's done this to, or
Let
whatever.
him hang himself with his own drunk, careless rope.
So right away, representatives for Giuliani, they didn't say anything because you can't. You cannot say anything. It's on videotape.
It's on videotape.
What are you going to say? That's fake? Fake news? It lives in a movie.
Yeah, the hottest movie in the world right now.
No comment is going to help you right now, Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
What can you say? The scene was rigged?
That's not going to work either.
Anyone who knows anything about a Borat movie knows that it's a hidden camera movie.
That's right.
They know the deal. Like
they're catching you in a private moment where you don't think you're on camera.
But
so
like,
you're
even if
he
he came out and was like, "Oh, I was just doing this with Sacha Baron Cohen because we're trying to get some big thing going,"
that's Sacha Baron Cohen could be like, "No, you weren't.
Nope,
no, you weren't.
Nope, we didn't do
the
that."
entire movie would be like, "No, you weren't."
Director, everyone would say, "We didn't do that."
Yeah.
Case closed.
Case closed. Like most of the cases Rudy is arguing as a lawyer these days, case closed in your drunk face, dummy.
Word of the incident first emerged on the 7th of July when Giuliani called New York police to report the intrusion of an unusually dressed man. Wasn't he usually the unusually dressed man?
He usually wears women's dresses, so that is not usual, but it's interesting.
So if it's unusual for Rudy, a man who did like to traipse around in his wife's clothing, then it's got to be off the
Which, by the
charts.
way, if Rudy Giuliani just came out as a drag queen,
if he came out as a drag,
how much more support would he have?
Yes,
it would humanize him in a certain way.
Statute of Liberty.
There you go.
That could be his drag name.
Dressed as Lady Liberty. There you go.
I think he'd win some of the left if he came out.
If he came out of the bathroom in a church dress with gloves on and a fan and a mini pearl hat.
It would humanize the guy, I think,
agree.
a little bit.
I agree.
So he said this guy comes running in wearing crazy, what I would say was a pink transgender outfit.
And Rudy does know about transgender outfits.
I would trust him on that.
Trust him on that one.
Giuliani told the New York Post, the Post.
The Post.
It was a pink bikini. Doesn't he own the Post?
Probably.
A pink bikini with lace underneath it. Like, he's giving a lot of details. For a very fast,
a translucent mesh top, which looked absurd. I've only seen it at 3 other parades before.
I mean, I tried it on. It didn't look great on me. It also didn't look great on him.
He had a beard, bare legs, and wasn't what I would call distractingly attractive. What does that even mean?
So he was kind of attractive, but not distractingly attractive.
Like I'd notice him, but I wouldn't fully turn my head around for the conversation I was in.
Conversation that I was in.
I would stay in there, but I would peripherally keep an eye on him and notice him in a certain way.
Oh, it would be on my mind in a big way, but I'd keep talking to
someone else. Yeah.
This person comes yelling and screaming, and I thought it must be a scam or a shakedown. You didn't think that.
No.
You didn't think that.
So
or maybe he thought it was a scam. Maybe he thought it was just that he was,
who knows,
like her pimp or something like that.
Who knows?
He then ran away. Giuliani said.
And by the way, the police found no crime whatsoever.
No crime was committed.
Yeah.
So Giuliani was wrong.
Classic Giuliani claiming there's a crime when there is no crime. Yeah.
Giuliani continued. I only later realized it must have been Sacha Baron Cohen. I guarantee you didn't realize it must have been Sacha Baron Cohen.
No idea who he is. Even though his big movie came out in 2006 when you were still a relevant human being.
I thought about all the people he previously fooled, and I felt good about myself because he didn't get me. He did get you.
He did get you.
He 100% got you.
Straight up revisionist history. This is a microcosm of everything you do, Rudy.
Was that the same way that you took down the mob?
Or how you handled everything on 9/11? Or you getting drunk and being a Russian plant for the president? I mean, these are all things
that you've done.
Where does this conquest fit, Rudy?
This is it, man. Your true self was on display. It got revealed to everybody. You can't refute it. It's on. Check the videotape.
Yep. Viewers may be less convinced that Baron Cohen reprising his role as the bumbling reporter Borat, and Maria, who plays his daughter Tutar, had no success
with fooling Rudy Giuliani because
they
did. They 100% did. That's just a fact.
How do you not know who Borat is?
Maybe he thought he was the next Lev Parnas. I don't know.
Who knows?
I do not know.
Or that it was the guy who scrubbed through Hunter Biden's laptop.
I mean, he's probably used to seeing a lot of Eastern Bloc people. So maybe he just thought, I hear the accent, I feel comfortable. I don't know.
So obviously Giuliani, well versed in receiving gifts and then doing dirty deeds for somebody. He went into his mode.
He definitely didn't seem uncomfortable in the video. He didn't seem like, I don't know what we're doing here.
Even before he reaches into his trousers, Giuliani does not appear to acquit himself especially impressively during the encounter.
It's a mess.
I would argue that even after he reached into his trousers, he couldn't even acquit himself from his trousers.
Folks.
Flattered and flirtatious, he drinks scotch, he coughs, fails to socially distance. By the way, this isn't a pandemic.
Right.
And claims Trump's speedy actions in the spring saved millions of American lives dying from COVID. He also agrees, in theory at least, to eat a bat with his interviewer. He is off the rails.
Are willing to do anything to impress this
Again,
young
we
woman.
cannot stress this enough that this is the president's personal lawyer, aside from Bill Barr.
This is a guy who has, Bill Barr is really his personal lawyer. But
still, this bat-eating, penis-fiddling, scotch-drinking, coughing, non-social distancing nut job is the president's lawyer.
He has the president's ear
He's
right now.
officially his representation. Giuliani has become a key figure in the late stages of the U.S. presidential election after obtaining a laptop hard drive purportedly belonging to Hunter Biden, and he left it at a repair shop in Delaware. He can't
even get the wrong thing.
He can't
done
even
right.
be expected to pick up the thing he left off. God,
geez, I was supposed to get that?
Oh, I thought I was just supposed to drop it off. His efforts to unearth political dirt on Trump's rivals for the White House mean that the film's mortifying footage can be seen in an attempt to undermine Giuliani's credibility. It's already undermined.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do a lot to get there, but this helps. This definitely helps.
He's undermining his own credibility
he's been
by being
undermining his
Giuliani.
credibility forever.
An attempt to undermine his credibility, he's been doing that for the last couple of years. This film is not doing anything that Giuliani hasn't himself already done.
That's right.
He's blown his credibility so terribly, I actually think he's responsible for 9/11. That's it. He's now gone that far.
I don't know about that, but I will say that he's definitely somebody who...
He's not. I'm exaggerating to make a point. He is not responsible for 9/11, but I'm saying he has screwed up so much, he makes you question him.
Well, and look, maybe 35 years ago, he was a little more of sound mind, but still. Maybe. I don't know. He certainly doesn't seem like he's there right now.
I mean, if he can be fooled by a character that was so popular in a movie that made $250 million in 2006, which is a lot closer to 2000.
Did he win a Golden Globe for it?
Yes.
Right.
Huge hit. Then he can literally get caught with his hands down his pants by anyone. And this just proved it.
Yeah.
There you go. That is a show, guys.
There it
That's
is.
how we do. Stay connected, stay protected. Don't get infected, guys. We got your back this last week. We got you. Just listen to our podcast, share it with friends. Stay connected, stay protected.
When you can't go to sleep at night, listen to us. Let us take you home.
This is not a hoax. We got the jokes. Wear a mask, everybody. And vote, vote, vote. See you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.